Hey guys, welcome to our movie podcast channel. This video that you just saw is a tribute to our beloved series, The Wire, which we just finished recently. And in fact, we're such crazy fans that Aafreen bought those white long t-shirts and this t-shirt. I don't know if you can see it. This is a t-shirt that she bought for me of our favorite character, Omar. Just goes to show how big fans we are of this particular television series. And now we're going to be talking about the series, but we just wanted to give you a glimpse about the craziness that we have for this series. Okay, so guys, we are going to be talking about this TV show which started in the year 2002. It ran till 2008. Unfortunately, we were not aware or we didn't hear much about this show. It has got an IMDb rating of 9.3, which is huge, with 388,000 votes. So a huge hit. So we're going to be talking about this show. But before we start talking, Afrin, do you want to say something with regards to, why we love this show so much and how crazy we are for this show?
So we discovered this show because I was searching on Google for shows rated 9 plus and above, and we discovered this. I really did not know anybody, and the most famous actor that I knew from the series was Idris Elba. His name did not feature in the list of actors, but yeah, it was 9 plus, so it was just an easy pick. So that's how we started watching the show.
And just to let you guys know, 9.5 is the highest rating for any TV show, and Breaking Bad has that. I would rate them almost equally, in my opinion. So that's our opinion. Before we start talking about the show, there are 5 seasons in this show, season 1 to 5, and we will be talking about each season very briefly. But before that, we wanted to talk about our favorite characters from the show, and at least for me, and Afreen will give her opinion as well. By far, the most favorite character for me from the show is Omar. He was played by Michael K. Williams, who's no more. He died in 2021. He was brilliant in the show, giving you a glimpse about his character. He is supposed to be the Robin Hood of the thieves. He steals from the big guys and he keeps most of the money, but he also gives it to the other needy people. He is a threat to the people who are feared in the show. I mean, every single character who are the big villains of the show fear him. He's using a broom and he's walking. The reason is he's broken his leg. The terror that he creates, even with a broken leg, is to be seen. He's the hero of the show, stylish, suave, and he's based on a real character, and that real character also appears along with him in the show. And to say that this is based on a real character feels a big surprise. But I absolutely love the way Michael K. Williams played this character, the style with which he played it. He was absolutely the most lovable character and the most heroic character of the show. Like South Indian or Hindi film, you call a mass hero or a mass villain, he is that guy. So this is me talking about my favorite character, Afreen. Any words from your end?
Omar was based on a real character, and then to portray him like that, like I am a little not sure if he was the hero, but yeah, he was very sexy, he was feared, and I mean, he portrayed it well. But what sets the show apart is again world building or something. Here it's absolutely raw, stark, like it's kya bolte hain, nanga, nude, it's
Hmm.
stripped of all prettiness. It's a place you don't want to go. I mean, maybe there is a tour now that this is where it was shot, but you would be scared to live there.
Okay, now let us go to the next one. McNulty. Okay, so he is the hero of the show. He carries the show. The show starts and ends with him.
He's shown as the police which wants to do right, which wants to do good for the society. It wants to put the bad guys in prison. Like he has his heart in the right place. He's never going to, get bribed or, in that sense, he's like so moralistic and so right. He does certain things during the 5 seasons, which are like, oh my God, like again, that quicksand kind of thing. Like, come on, McNulty, you cannot do this. You're the hero. You are the moral of the thing. Like, so yeah. But I have become an absolute fan of him. I didn't know he played Prince Charles in The Crown, but I remember that now and how he humanized Prince Charles. Like, I don't think Prince Charles is loved by people who are like Princess Diana's fans. So, but he humanized him really well. And here, yeah, here he's wicked. He's a hero, but he has this wicked streak. He can't handle stress. When he gets stressed, he does really bad things. When he smiles, like you smile, and you let him get away with a few things because, yeah, after all, he's the hero and he's moralistic. He's
So
always
he's
treading a thin line, like, his bosses are like, oh my God, you are like very good worker, very good police. But they are like, oh my God, when is he not like going to follow that straight line? And he may just become a little like rule breaker and this
He's a
chaos.
big rule breaker. Yeah, he's a big rule breaker as long as it works towards him solving his cases,
Yeah.
and it backfires on him as well. Many times on the show, it backfires, and somehow he's able to come out of it at all the times because he can put anyone on fire to get his work done, but not for himself. He's not doing it for himself. He knows that he will get affected by it, but he still does it. And big rule breaker doesn't care about the superiority of people above him, of his bosses, and just does his work. But I love the way he smiles at the end of everything, even in the worst situations. He has that smile on the face. Whatever you're going to give me, whatever you're going to throw at me, I'm going to take it. So that's the best thing about it. The next character that we're going to be talking about is Bubbles. Now, he has, I would say, the best character graph. There are many characters who have a wonderful character graph through the 5 seasons, but he's, eating the cake out of all of them. He's played by Andre Royo, a big heroin addict, a big drug addict in the beginning of the show. You feel sad for him and also disgusted by him, and you feel there is no hope, right? And he keeps going back into the same dark alley again and again. That whenever we see some entrance of hope, he's back to those bad ways. And then there is an inciting incident in his life. We won't talk about that. That inciting incident first completely breaks him down, and then he rises. And then he rises, and his rise, once again, it's not like a filmy rise, but yes, he completely changes, and in the end, we have tears. He's got the best ending out of all the characters. So that's Bubble. So, Aafreen, anything that you want to say?
Bubbles, the name itself, I don't know, the name is cute. And we feel bad for him because he is intelligent. He knows what is right and wrong. There is no confusion. Like in other characters' head, I'm getting money, so let me do bad. Like, let me sell drugs. This guy is intelligent. He knows how to lead a life. He knows the right thing to do. He knows it, but he doesn't do it. And it's so frustrating. Arey, what's wrong with you? Like just like we like shaking him up and yeah, he really tests our patience that why Bubbles? Why do you do this, Bubbles? But he's a
Right.
adorable character. He is loyal and he is very family oriented. There's a relationship with his sister. Yeah, an adorable character that you just want to shake him really hard and be like, please, Bubbles, do it for our sake. Like, we are feeling for you. So, yeah, but absolutely a great character. Absolutely great.
Thank you. Now, the next character, Freeman, Lester Freeman.
Cool,
Now,
cool.
he is very close to McNulty in many ways, right? Except that he has a fascinating hobby, and he does strike a good balance between work and personal life.
He's just a guy sitting in a corner doing his hobby. And then they're like, what is this guy? Like, he's not going to contribute anything. And slowly he becomes like the main lead, the most intelligent person in the unit. He's again moral. And
Yeah.
he's actually done probably what McNulty wants to, like that danger zone. He has done that and he has been reprimanded for that. And then, it's a decade of him not doing the real police work and then thrown into this unit. So that is why McNulty is still the spark that lights him on fire. So yeah, absolutely one of the greatest characters. Like I'm a big fan.
Yes, and he's also another rule breaker, and has faced repercussions in the past and in the future as well, in the
Yeah,
show as well.
yeah.
And there are some really funny scenes in the season 5 between him and McNulty. Like McNulty talks about the most impossible or the improbable things to do, and he's the only one who supports him in that. And in fact, he pushes him a little more. So crazy characters, but the reason we love them is they are the best. They are doing police work. They are doing the actual police work. They're actually solving crime. They're actually doing their best to get the criminals behind the bar. You feel sad that they have to comply with these rules while trying to do the real work. Unfortunately, they have to break the rule if they need to get the work done. And the next character that we are going to talk about is Cedric Daniels. People who have seen John Wick will remember him as the concierge guy. He died in 2023. Once again, an absolutely brilliant character. Love him. He is like a robot, like I feel say. He's
He
literally
talks
like a
like
robot. Yeah. And sometimes you don't see the emotions inside him, but he's also the kind of guy who is extremely honest towards his work, and he is very passionate about his work, but he's not a rule breaker. The thing that sets him apart from McNulty and Lester Freeman is the fact that he is sincere towards his work, but he doesn't believe in breaking rules. He will take it on him and he will accept it, but he understands that he has to follow the rules. But an absolutely lovable character. Anything else that you want to talk about,
I just
Cedric
want to say, like,
Daniels?
you are frustrated that break some rules, yeah. Break, like, just ignore that part. Why do you have to be like that straight? Like, he's the nemesis of our McNulty, right? In the end, and like, damn it.
Okay, the next character that we're going to be talking about is Prez. Once again, I think Bubbles and Prez would come as the best character graph shown in the series, right? I mean, I can't think of any other character who has had such a dramatic character graph. Both of them come almost close to each other. Prez is the most hated character when the show begins. Okay, once again, a very brief information about that. There is nepotism. He is married to one of the top commissioner or big guy's daughter, right? So, in spite of him being a very bad police, in spite of having such a bad start, when you literally hate him, slowly and steadily starts getting involved in the police work. He realizes what his strength is, and then there is something that happens which completely shakes him, and he takes up on another career as a teacher. You see his career graph going up and up and up, and he remains the most positive character in the last 3 or 4 seasons. So, with such a bad start and to such a brilliant upward trend in the character graph and it's written so well. You love him by the end of the show.
Yeah, I learned to say his last name, Prezbuliski. I never thought I'd be able to say. In the beginning, it's frustrating at the level of incompetence that he has. And it also shows that you may be good at a job and you may still fail at it for various other reasons. He deciphers algorithms and codes, that the gangsters have. He's the only one who's able to do it. But he still fails, and then he becomes a teacher out of like lack of any other career that he could do, and then he excels at that. He's the calmest presence in the show. He panics, but other than that, like, he's a calm person. You need a calm mind to do what he does. So yeah, you will absolutely love that character as well.
We start with season 1, which is about the illegal drug trade.
Season one is showing us a world that we will never get to experience, and the rawness of that world, the cold-heartedness of this business, and of some characters. Like D'Angelo and Wallace have some moral dilemma, but these other two, Poot and the other guy, it's like they don't even register it as being wrong. And then the police team, the team which works on it, the police team, it's a slow process. They slowly bring in everybody, and we slowly fall in love with all of them.
Right. Perfect. Now, season 2 is about the seaport system. So it's majorly set in the world of port and boats.
Ships.
And these are two of the primary characters in season 2. Quick synopsis about this is they have these containers where they illegally smuggle things, and there are some deaths that happen, and that's how the case starts. Uh, so it's about that, and the police get involved in trying to solve the deaths, but they find out there is much more to it. In the end, the main antagonist of the season 2 never get nabbed. They survive even in the end. But I think that they are trying to show reality, so some people just get away, right? And that's what they're trying to show. Anything specific about season 2 you want to say?
Again, it's a different world. Suddenly, the world shifts from. I mean, there is this world that they show in season one, but there's also this new world near a shipping port and shipping containers and sex trafficking, and yeah, there's a world building around that. And yeah, the drug business is never going to finish. It's never going to get over. However many criminals they catch, maybe, but yeah, this was again an exposure into a world that we are not privy to on a regular basis. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Right. Perfect. Season 3, the city government and bureaucracy. So
Politics.
before, yeah, the politics. So the guy on the left, people who've seen Game of Thrones, Peter Littlefinger, right? And he was the most slimy character on Game of Thrones. I think Aafreen doesn't remember him much, but he was the most slimy character, and I love the way his character dies in Game of Thrones. Here he starts as a creepy character to begin with, but slowly he grows into us. And I mean, yes, there are a lot of issues with him, but overall, I think I like this character. I didn't talk about his character, but yeah, I started liking him, and I thought that he had the intentions to do the right thing. Yes, he was bureaucratic, he was, political in the way he was doing things, but I think he had some good intentions within him. But so season three talks a lot about how politics is there around all this and how the bureaucracy affects in proper policing, and you see the impact uh, till the season five, and it's like a butterfly effect. You keep seeing things happening and getting hampered because of that. So that's about the season. Before Afrin goes into talking about her view on season three, I have to talk about the right hand side image. This is the best scene of the series for me. Okay, so we have two characters. Omar on the left. I don't remember the name of this guy. He's the coldest guy, but he's super stylish.
Assassinator. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like his job is to assassinate people, and these two go on a mission. That mission, once again, I can't divulge details about that mission, but that mission is like awesome, and the way they walk in the scene, that was, I mean, if it was in a theater, I would have surely clapped and whistled. I don't know to whistle, but I would have surely clapped. I loved the way this scene was taken and this entire scene, but the way
Yeah.
they walk, it has to be the best scene of the season, at least, if not the series. So I enjoyed it. I wanted to talk about it. That's the reason I kept this image as well. Okay, you want to talk about the season three?
I was listening to the speech by David Simon, the writer, about how Baltimore has become 65% of Baltimore is African American, and the taxpayers are like there's literally no taxpayer population in Baltimore because everybody is selling drugs. That's not legal money, right? So nobody's paying taxes, and everybody's
Mhm.
taking the social security check. I don't know when, but in the whole series they show mothers who have kind of given up on life. Like, we know our Indian mothers are like so moralistically right, and they always do good things for the children. It's so frustrating to see moms who are doing drugs. I'm like, what the hell is this? Moms are doing drugs, like absolutely hopeless. So who's going to, like, we were beaten by our moms, our dads to study, otherwise we wouldn't study, right? Probably, like, it's so
Yeah.
easy to just become nothing if you don't study, like education and all that. Like, they are not even able to take care of themselves. The moms are into drugs, or they are into money, or getting their nails done and just looking good or whatever. Like, it's a weird world. Yeah, but yeah, the politics apart, and the thing about, that there's not enough population who is paying the taxes, which will then put money back into policing and getting real police work done, pay the police overtime to do the work. All that is there in this, and it's kind of an eye opener, right? Like, we don't think of
Hmm.
so many things that
Right.
our income tax money could was is probably doing good for the society. So yeah, it's a circle.
I completely agree with you. Going to season four.
Every season is kind of slow to pick up, but you understand. I was very emotional by the end of season 4. I was feeling ki, what a hopeless situation. How do you even come out of it? Like, if you don't have the right parent, the right house to live in, they don't even have houses, places to wash their clothes, parents to take care of them, money. I mean, how do you survive then? Then drug is your only, selling drugs is your only. There is this kid who goes to McDonald's, all these places to get a job, and they're like, you're not 17, you can't get a job. So what the hell will you do? Like, it's such a,
Mhm.
yeah, so I was very, very emotional. Like, there was nothing which was shown in a dramatic way, but I was crying by the end of season 4, and nothing was dramatic. Nothing was somebody dies or nothing like that. But I was super emotional and I was crying.
And the last season, season five, the print news media. It's showing the truth about the media.
It's what
So
media
you
is
have,
today in India, especially.
yeah, yes. So people are creating news out of nothing. There is this guy who is on the right hand side who literally creates news, uses his own words, creates characters, and writes about them. There is a serial killer angle in this season that's shown, and this guy fakes it, saying that the serial killer called him and told him what he's going to do next. That is the level of corruption in the print news media, and his bosses are encouraging him. In fact, the season ends with him getting some award. So you see, there is more encouragement to create news, sensationalize news, than to report the right things and report the facts. So that was the major thing about season five, but it's also the culmination for almost all of these characters. So there was a lot going on in season five. Apparently, it's rated relatively low in comparison to all the other seasons. But I personally liked it. There were things that I was a little sad about, but I still liked it. I liked the way there was a bookend to all the characters. I may not have been happy about the ending for all of these characters, but I like the way they try to close it. A lot of things happening, a lot of policing happening, but media is in the center of attention for the season. After your views on the season.
Yeah, how the media has become corrupted in order to get ahead in their career. because how can you be in media and not report the truth? Like absolute false. It's not even their perception. It's just like they know it's wrong and they're still printing it. What I didn't like is probably the actors, except for that guy who's sitting down next to the computer. He was impressive.
Hmm.
The girl, the villain is that guy in the with his back to us. He was not villainish enough. He was just a regular guy. I do hate him, but not like the Idris Alba kind of villain. Absolutely
I
wrong.
don't think he was the villain per se. Yes, he
He was
does
the
immoral
culmination of
things.
all the bad that happens in the media, but I was not impressed by the actors. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
And this is where Bubbles get his redemption, right?
Yeah.
After 4 seasons, Bubbles is finally like, yes, this is, so yeah, I was happy about that. Yeah, that's about season 5. And in the end, we know that everybody, the ones we loved, are going to be okay. McNulty, Bung, Kima, Lester, these are our four favorite characters.
Daniels.
Daniels, yeah. So we know that they are all going to be okay, which is our takeaway. They don't have to be in police or they don't need to be fighting drugs, but we want them to be okay.
Hmm.
And the series leaves us with that kind of happiness or that kind of satisfaction.
Yes, and I haven't spoken about the main antagonist after season three. We have a new villain, so that kind of says that this thing is going to keep going on even after the end of season five. When the main antagonist is out of this particular profession, we still see that things continue in the same way. So it's
Yeah.
not like it's going to stop. But the main antagonist of season four and five is probably the most hated antagonist. That goes to show that he's done a great job as an actor, but he's the I mean, amongst all the characters that we have seen in all the 5 seasons, he's probably the coldest villain and he's probably the biggest antagonist of all
There
of
were
them.
so many. There were three. The politician who used to say
Clay
she.
Davis.
Clay Davis was like,
Burrell and Brawl is what you're talking about, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
Burrell,
they just want
Brawl,
to save their own
yeah,
chair and that's it. Like they will throw anybody under the bus to get to save their own job.
yeah, and there is a parallel that way, right? So even McNulty throws people under the bus, but he does it to do his job better. And these guys throw people under the bus to save themselves and to grow in their career. So it's a very long podcast. I think the longest that we have recorded. But I'm going to be editing and see if I can make it shorter, and then we will be releasing smaller clips as well. But we couldn't have made a smaller podcast on The Wire. It's such a brilliant series, right? I mean, honestly speaking, we can talk for hours and hours about the series. So I think from my end, I would like to end it by saying that please watch the series. We didn't know much about the series until recently, and we want to spread the information. It's already a big hit amongst the Americans, I think, but our audience probably is more of Indians, and I think the people who have seen shows like The Sopranos or the Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul will love the series. Yes, it takes time. So you have to be a little patient. There is a lot of detailing in it, and it's very real. Like Afin said, nude, real. You will carry this show with you even after you completed the series. So that's how I would like to end it. Afin, your words, ending
It's an
words.
absolute must watch. It'll open up your heart more than your mind, actually. So, must watch.
Brilliant. You just said
Not
one
many
sentence
Americans
which
know
is more
about it. My boss
impactful.
doesn't know about it. I asked 2, 3 people, they didn't know about it. So, but Obama
It
is a
is
big
sad.
fan.
It is
Obama
sad.
is a fan of Omar,
Oh
and
wow.
he
Yes.
called David Simon in the White House, and David Simon was like, "Oh, you're an Omar fan. I can't believe I'm taking Omar's name in the White House."
Yeah.
It's an eye
I'm,
opener. It will open your heart. Definitely, it will open
Yeah,
it.
and you will feel sad for the kids and for the guys who are on the street and are having to lead this life. You'll also feel sad for the police who are trying to do the right things and yet being penalized for doing the right things. And but then you will accept that that's the way life is. It's not perfect, but there are still some shining moments and bubbles, and some of these characters are the example of that shining moment in this not so ideal life, right? So, yeah. So please watch and thank you for the ones who have been patient enough to wait till the end of this podcast. And please subscribe to our channel and please watch Karma Strikes. I want to keep advertising it. It's a movie produced by me and my wife, directed by me. Please watch it. It's on Z5. It's also on YouTube. Karma Strikes. I'll be putting the link on the description. Thank you again for watching. Take
Thank
care.
you, Karthik.
Thank you, Afreen.